Hey y'all, I want us to have a chat because I have had some epiphanies and it feels really relevant to the very last episode of the podcast, Let Yourself Bloom. New episode, season 2, coming soon. But I really want us to talk about the challenges that come when you let yourself bloom. That episode is about walking in the integration of the healing work and the lessons that we've learned, actually embodying it and allowing ourselves to enjoy the fruits of that healing, right? I don't feel like we talk enough about the bravery that is required to move towards aligned living. We can learn all the lessons, we can do all the deconstruction we want to, we can know all the things, but unless we actually make different choices, it doesn't matter. And there are real challenges that come when it is time to do that. My number one top core value is freedom, and my goal is complete intuitive living. Following the nudges, moving towards what feels natural versus what we have been conditioned to do and view things like productivity, etc. I feel like that's the key to living in alignment and manifesting exactly what you want. And I've been doing this kind of work for 12 years or more. What never fails is right before I'm presented with the opportunity to take another major leap towards what I say I want, all the old conditioning and the ideas of the way I need to do things start popping up. This idea of, what if you're doing it wrong, girl? What if none of this works? And what if you're about to mess everything up? It's like my old thought processes are like, hey sis, we are still available to you and we're safer, remember? And it doesn't really matter in the moment that I went looking for something different because it wasn't working for me. All I feel is that anxiety in my chest because we're doing something that we haven't necessarily seen a ton of, and sometimes we haven't seen it at all. What I want to say is I can tell you consistently that is connected to a new level opening up for us. It is the old parts of ourselves that know that they have to be left behind, trying to cling for dear life. And that's something that a lot of us have heard of and seen before, where people will talk about things falling apart just to come together, or right before something beautiful happens, it feels like the rug is pulled from under you. And yes, sometimes that for sure is external things happening, but other times it's just an internal battle that doesn't really have any external evidence. For me, that is very difficult because that feeling of where does this feeling come from creates this internal kind of battle between, is this anxiety and doubt or is this intuition? More on that later. But when I am my best balanced self, I can identify what is anxiety and what's intuition. And if I'm not as clear, when I'm at a more balanced but not completely balanced version of myself, I move as if it is doubt and anxiety, because as I do the things I'm going to talk about in the rest of the video, if nothing shifts, then that's my indication that it is not doubt and it is actually my intuition, and then I can change routes. And so even if we want to look at it outside of the energetic perspective, I've actually heard someone say that our brains are not necessarily designed to make us happy. They're designed to keep us safe. And so when we take risk or decide to do something new and exciting or different, that reads as a threat and potential danger. And so our brains start working overtime to thwart it, right? To keep us safe. That was very interesting and also very comforting to me because it kind of confirmed what I've been kind of feeling like this is not an indication that I'm doing something wrong. This kind of anxiety that's coming up for me that I've been fighting with has everything to do with old parts of myself that want to come with me, but that cannot come where I'm going, right? And so it's a shedding, and the shedding isn't comfortable. The shedding is really, really uncomfortable, but it has to happen. And if we really push through, it'll all be worth it in the end. And so in full transparency, for me, it's usually around ideas like productivity. The idea that you must always be doing in order for things to grow. If you don't do it, it won't get done. That belief system isn't serving me, and it isn't true, and it's been proven to be untrue plenty of times in my journey. But again, we're getting ready to move to whatever this next level is, and so there's a fight happening between aligned me and protection version of me, right? And so here are some of the things that I've been doing to help that. So for you, it may not be about productivity or business. It may be about a whole nother subject, but I still think that the things that I am doing and have done will be helpful to you. So number one, when that doubt rises up for me, I recognize it for what it is and I try to love it out of me, right? So that feeling of, girl, what if you're wrong? I realize this is a version of me that's trying to keep me safe. That version of me doesn't know the beauty on the other side of this. So let me treat her real nice and gentle. Thank you for what you've done for me. You're not needed here. Take a deep breath and let it go. That works really well to recenter myself. And I feel like when I meet anxiety with a version of aggression, for whatever reason, it like heightens that anxiety. So that's why I took that approach. Number two is I've eliminated a lot of input. My formula doesn't really change based on the thing that I'm doing, but for this in specific, that looks like in the areas of business and what people are doing and them telling us what we should be doing and what works in a period of time where my goal is to hear myself. Having a whole lot of other voices does not help. So one of the things I did a while ago was I created burner pages. They're just social media that's just about entertainment and laughing. I'm not following nobody's business, nothing. No, how to make your TikTok grow. No, like as a healer, you should do this and not that. I'm not following any of that. Not because any of it is bad, right? Some of that information is very valuable and aligned. But if I can't hear myself, all I can hear is them. It's hard for me to discern what's for me and what's not for me. And that used to result in a whole lot of me just doing a bunch of stuff. Nothing aligned and exhausted myself, right? So I've eliminated that. It seems like in about 2020, it became a trend to just be viewed as an expert and to use absolutes. This is the right way to do it. If you do this thing, you will have these results. If you're not getting these results, this is guaranteed to be the reason why. It just created a hell of anxiety and a whole lot of questioning myself. And so I had to cut that quiet sometimes. And the third most important thing I'm doing is really addressing it by pouring into myself, right? I do something that I call like going around the back. And that is when I do subliminal things to address doubts and anxious thoughts and things of that nature. We're talking about going to sleep to binaural beats and sound bowls, and it helps me to quiet that mind. I totally believe in the power of different hertz and music frequencies and all of that. I've seen it work before. We're going to do as much as we can without my personal labor. And then in terms of what I do, this is the anxiety. We're setting intentions in the morning. What am I going to do today and why? To get myself started on the right foot in a way that is still centered on hearing myself and aligning myself with myself before all the noise from the day comes in and I am not settled enough, right? I'm also making sure to take small steps towards whatever thing. I'm not going to rattle and shake my nervous system all apart trying to force myself to do something that is just going to jar me so much that I'm like, I freeze afterwards. I know my big goal is this. Right now, for whatever reason, I don't have the capacity for this big goal. But what I can do is this small thing here and this small thing here. And the hardest thing that I've had to work the hardest to do is to not pick at myself about it. To end the day with a list of the things that happened, either I did or were done for me that were beautiful, so I could see growth and progress as proof that what I'm following and what I'm moving towards is aligned and is positive, right? And so if over like the next couple of weeks, I don't notice any kind of a change and that feeling of this is not going to go well and that feeling of doubt, for me, that would be an indication that that is actually not doubt or anxiety. That's actually my intuition, in which case we would have another conversation. Hey loves, I wanted to say this because it's really important to me. That 2-week window that I mentioned is really personal to me. I came up with it after years of personal work and therapy and really learning my own patterns. And so I know that when nothing shifts after I do what normally works, that means that something deeper is happening. And at this stage in my life, that usually points to intuition. What I really should have said is that if doubtful thoughts continue and you've been working on them, that could be for a myriad of reasons, including intuition, but it could also be trauma, old patterns, and things that could really benefit from support like therapy or counseling. Please remember that these reflection videos are my lived experience and what I'm navigating right now. They're not prescriptive or universal. And this is not a video where I tell you, you take these steps and this will solve your problem. This is a video about me sharing my becoming in action, how I'm handling things in real time in case any of this resonates. But the takeaway from this and every other video I ever make is take whatever it inspires you to do. If it's to figure out what might work for you and it's not this, please do. Because the bottom line is, whenever we try to leap, there are old parts of ourselves that might stick its ugly head out and tap us on the shoulder and say, don't forget about me. I'm where we used to be safe. And to be honest, it's Mercury retrograde. And I think this is a good time to remember because the old stuff might be trying to pop its head out. So anyway, more videos to come, more reflections to come. If you like this, please follow my page, hit like, share with somebody who needs it, and I will talk to you soon. Love you. Thanks for listening to today's episode. If you're watching on YouTube, subscribe, like, and drop a comment. And if you're listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, follow the show, leave a review, and share it with someone you love. You can find me on Instagram at SeenWithSerena and at milkandhoneyproject.com. Until next time, be wildly, radically, and unapologetically good to yourself. Love you.